The K-12 education team decided to focus on improving school nutrition by providing healthier lunch choices for the Madison high schools. The objective was to establish a produce bar in one of 3 Madison area high schools.
I think truthfully at the beginning we were throwing around lots of ideas from chefs in the schools for some inter-school cooking competition or maybe school menu cookbooks and things like that. And we sat down and met with Sarah Elliott from REAP, and truthfully this was her idea. We asked her what would be the one dream project for you, and she said salad bars in the schools. And not only do you get through these fresh fruit offering bars the opportunity to provide kids with healthy, nutritious food, but kind of as Sarah said, you put the salad bars in there and they may be stocked with California carrots initially, but I'll get Wisconsin carrots in there. And so this project offers the opportunity kind of for side benefits or side potential down the road of also getting in local produce.
Also, we had one of our classes held at La Follette High School, and we had the opportunity to talk with City of Madison school administrators. And one of the things that became very obvious is with over 50% of the children receiving free or reduced lunches, a lot of these kids just don't get healthy food options. And this just seemed like a natural for us to pursue, trying to figure out ways we could bring fresh fruits into the high schools. We also had an opportunity to talk with some of the children, and believe it or not, children really like eating fresh vegetables and fruits, so it's an exciting project.
I think the best thing that we did was we got a bunch of people that were talking about this type of stuff, but not necessarily in the same room. We got them in the same room and had a constructive conversation, and I think we started to get them on the right path. If we don't see a finish line quite yet, I think we at least got them on the path.
Yeah, I totally agree with Brian. We found as we started to dive into this project that there's very many people in the community who are interested who didn't necessarily know about each other or other initiatives that were being talked about, from folks in the school districts themselves to local grocers or even nonprofits and even corporate sponsors. So by doing the roundtable, we were able to kind of brainstorm and get the ball rolling with the project. And as Linda mentioned, we're hoping to expand in the future by getting produce from the school gardens and community gardens, even from local farmers, into the salad bars. So by just bringing everyone together, I think we increase the odds of that happening down the road.
I was really surprised about the fact that when we were actually in the schools and having lunch with the students, I was really surprised how many students didn't actually eat anything at all, and the offering at the time were things that you would think kids would eat, chicken nuggets and that kind of thing. I didn't see a lot of things that I would prefer children eat, not a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables and things like that, so I think the salad bar is going to be a great way to see that. But I was really surprised that they weren't eating, and I'm hoping that if you give them something that's exciting, if you give them something that looks appetizing, they can go up, they can choose it themselves, it's similar to going to a grocery store or a Quick Mart or something like that, that it'll be something they're engaged in and food will become exciting again instead of just, they're not even paying attention to it.
For me, what really surprised me was the fact that the Madison public schools, or at least most of them anyway, do not have kitchens. That just floored me. Imagine how difficult it must be to try and supply fresh, nutritious food to our school kids without kitchens in the schools. I just don't, the fresh food offering bars are one way to help address this situation, but that to me was just an amazing piece of information to learn.
There just isn't the infrastructure in place at the schools to provide fresh food options. So, in meeting with the administration, we identified the East School District because they're doing some construction there. There was some monies being allocated to that cafeteria there to make some improvements. So them doing some of their improvements along with hopefully getting a salad bar in place, I think we overcame some hurdles.
One of the things that you always run into is you have this bureaucracy that is school layered with federal lunch programs, with community programs, and navigating through that whole system was just very challenging. But it was also rewarding to see that regardless of what entity you're dealing with, nutrition for kids was really at the top of everyone's mind. So having everyone come together, it was the biggest challenge of getting everybody to talk. It was also the most rewarding piece in my opinion.
One of the other surprises is that the school district actually loses money on lunches. So it was fascinating to find out that, as an example, if they receive $1, they're having to pay $1.50 for more of a fresh lunch or something like that. So they're almost always losing money every time they serve a meal. And so it's trying to also help them figure out, or hope they can figure out, how to make up that money so that they can give very nutritious, very good meals while they're losing money on something. And we know that that doesn't work in the business world. So we're hoping they can figure out how to do it in the school district world.
One of the things that we learned that led to the excitement about this project was the fact that if they could increase the quality of the food that they're serving to the children, there will be more paid kids eating the lunches, because right now, and as the numbers for free and reduced lunch kids eating increases, the amount that they have to spend on each of those child's lunches decreases. So if we could get and help to encourage more children that are paid lunches, it will increase the overall amount that they have to spend on per meal lunches for all of the children, which will hopefully increase the ability to provide more nutritious and quality food.
I'd like to see money in the foundation account that we set up. So, we took it a step and we were working with the Madison Community Foundation and set up an account that said, if there's an opportunity out there as a corporate sponsor or as a private sponsor, or if this is a project that's near and dear to your heart, if you want to see more fresh fruits and vegetables and salad bars and opportunities in schools, you have a way to donate now, and it'll get right to them. And then the schools can use the infrastructure they have or what they're going to get in the future to turn that into something.
Eventually, we would love to see salad bars offering, or these fresh offerings in the elementary, middle, and high school for all children. And as a couple of us have pointed out, eventually having local produce, whether it's raised in the garden or locally just offered.
Children not getting healthy food options. That's one of the things I learned probably this most, is that kids really don't have access or don't eat healthy. And it seems to be a trend that's going in the wrong direction. So hopefully, our little project here will start to increase the awareness, and sponsors in the community will get behind putting money towards making these options available.
One of our biggest accomplishments, like Brian said, was just bringing those in the community who are interested to the project together in a room so that we could brainstorm both about how to implement the salad bars in the school now, but also how to advance the goal and the project in the future. We had folks from the health industry, those in the school district themselves, local grocers, corporate sponsors, all of whom were very interested in increasing the nutritional value of students' lunch. So moving forward, we've mentioned we'd like to see produce from local farms or even the school gardens incorporated in the salad bars, and we'd also like to see educational aspects so that students learn more about healthy eating habits going forward. And to advance the project, we set up a funding mechanism through the Madison Public School Foundation, where folks can donate through a website, and that will allow us to roll out additional salad bars in other high schools besides just East, and implement some of these other goals that we have in mind for the future.
So I think the project really brought to light a real need. And throughout the course of the project, East High School actually got 2 salad bars implemented. And we've seen the subscriber base of the salad bars really go up. Brings us to feel very confident that in the future, salad bars will be in all the other high schools.